Let us say Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Now, have you ever contemplated and reflected that the moment you wake up in the morning, you are saying, "May there be happiness for all"? So you become aware of the default setting of the mind and you say goodbye to it. So it never says it's a bad morning, I have a lot of problems, I'm awfully busy. Everything is clear in your mind. Can it happen in a day? No, it will take some time. So now we are moving into that state. We are moving into that state where we can change our behavior and attitude. So every day, not only you remind, but you reflect on it. Open your eyes, you reflect on it. We are, with these series of 6 treasures, we are moving to the next level of our seeking. You change mind to change your thought, speech, and action. In the beginning, may there be happiness for all, and the default setting of the mind says no. May there be peace for all. Mind is not ready to listen, but we have to push. But if we are simply repeating habitually, "May there be happiness for all," I am already in stress, then you are not a seeker. Then you are not a seeker. Then we cannot find those 6 treasures. Because 6 treasures will only reveal itself when my mind leaves the default setting. What should we do? Every day, please, I am pleading. Every day ask yourself how many times physically, mentally, and vocally, internally you experience a sense of anxiety, reaction, busyness, duality, and a conflict. It is because of the default setting of the mind. It is because our mind did not accept Mangalacharan in the morning, even if you have done it. So how many times did you miss practicing the morning default setting of the mind? You missed it. That is why you missed. Not because you are busy, not because you have an important work. You have to recognize and realize this fact of the mind. Did you experience the change after the practice, or still feeling lazy, sleepy? I have to recognize this every day, at least for a couple of weeks, to check whether I live in that state of calmness and peace. Think of a state. You wake up in the morning, consciously you experience the calmness and the peace. Your mind reminds you today's agenda. You need not to look at your calendar or other thing. Why? Because the mind is not busy, so it will remind you by itself. You will see that. That is a big change. So you know that at 9 I have to do this, at 11 I have to do this, finished. Your mind has charted that agenda and your mind is clear. So then we have to check. What we have to check? Start thinking and speaking and acting with reference to the Eastern wisdom. What you learn, you apply it daily. not only in your life, but apply in your personal life, in your daily family with near and dear ones. You just start applying these principles to maintain that, whether that inner calmness is maintained or not. If the inner calmness and peace is not maintained, then what is the fun of doing all these practices? Then we should take the pills and we should be ready to go. So we are talking of the transformation now. That is why I am pleading a seeker should undergo a transformation. So at least now you remember, oh, last week I had only 2 events where my mind reacted internally and I pacified. I returned to the calmness very, very fast. So the whole week passed in calm and the joy. Second week also, third week also, fourth week also. You will recognize these are the 6 treasures. These are the 6 treasures. So basically, what happens if I frame a question that how a seeker lives daily? If I answer this question, you see what happens, your all busyness and anxiety simply drops. How? Just pay attention. Just as the light, brilliant light is not a property of the lamp, it is not the property of this lamp, but uses it as a medium to shine. Your true nature is not a product of your body, your mind, your intellect. Pay attention to this. In the mind, I'm aware that this light of the consciousness is not the lamp, not the separate. It is totally separate from. It is totally separate from the lamp. Are you clear what I said? So at least your mind remains inside. What I said, the light is not a property of the lamp. But I don't see that light of the consciousness, but I see the medium. I see the medium and I see the shining of the light. It comes from that light. It comes from that light of the consciousness. That is extremely important at this stage. Now, why it happens and how it happens? First thing, that by Mangalacharan, you have allowed the mind to recognize, relive into that state of calmness and peace. First step. Second step is more important, that you apply that as a karma yoga. You apply that through your thought, speech, and action in your personal life, in your professional life, in your social life. If you don't do that, it will not happen. It will not happen. Then what will happen? Yes, it's more a philosophical aspect. It has nothing to do with the pragmatic and practical aspect. I have to. And he said, oh, what a crazy guy you are. Now you see that. You have a 6 treasures inside. He said, yes, I'm more crazy than you think. No issue at all. Honey, let me know where I got crazy. Do you see the response in your thought, speech, and action? And otherwise, if the mind is not revealing those 6 treasures, then we say, it's all philosophical, it cannot be applied practically. So the second part is what we say the karma yoga. Now where we are going to, those 6 treasures reveal itself naturally when your intellect is steady. In Gita we say it is a steady wisdom. It is a steady intellect. Where it is steady that I won't allow the default setting of the mind to enter into my life at any cost during the day in my thought, speech, and action, and the life is going to change completely. Life is going to change completely. Another point that we have to keep in our mind, come what may, the other person is 100% wrong. I also discuss about those things, but I discuss it's a critical review, it's a critical understanding. So why I said so? Your mind should stop blaming the world outside. If you are blaming, it means you are attached in some way or the other. You can communicate in a way not coming from the blame and the reaction. It is coming from the wisdom. Stop blaming, stop reacting. So it is linked to another principle, that if I have a humility, my mind is open, I am not egoistic, then I will stop blaming. And that is the point of a seeker, and that will open the door that we are on a journey to know ourselves. But then third point is also related to it. If I act out of detachment, then only I don't blame. Then only I have a humility. Then only I have a stability. Then only I am not busy in any situation. Are you getting it? You have to work on this area, that stop blaming, surrender to learn, know thyself, act with the detachment. All these four areas and the steady intellect is related to my daily life activities. You just start thinking, speaking, and acting out of it. With your honey, with your near and dear ones, at the profession, outside, at mall, your mind, you will find the mind remains into that state of the calm and peace. We are just still talking about the six treasures. Think of it. So they all are linked together. So, and there is a systematic approach. So you start with the Mangalacharan, you recognize everything, and then you recognize that I have to stop blaming. It comes because of the attachment. So attachment means that the mind is running outside. If the mind is running outside, it means I am fully busy with lot of the thoughts. If I am fully busy, it is a default setting of the mind. If it is a default setting of the mind, then there is a problem in our life. So those who have been religiously attending all the sessions and listening and doing it, that will make a sense to them. So those who just join like a, what we say, moon, once in a blue moon, it will not work for them. We say that, we can claim that philosophically, it will not. You have to go through all the previous lessons, you have to work on it. So now, another part that you need to remember, do not forget it. What you do not forget? The 8 steps. The first 8 steps of this text prepares a strong foundation to become a higher seeker. What is that? The first step we already know. What is that? Study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. So I study, I learn, I repeat the lesson, I contemplate and reflect. Why? I am studying myself. Why? It removes the ignorance about the self and the reality. I gave you an example of the light and the lamp. It creates a foundation for transformation. I'm pleading again. We are stepping into a transformation, conscious evolution and transformation. Initially, almost 20 years ago, I used to talk about what is conscious evolution and transformation. I used to pick up all these topics, and especially to a group of intellectuals and business people in India. They said, no, we don't like, all those terms. I said, okay, we'll talk about the conscious. So just looking from that perspective, 8 steps are primary, very. First step, study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. Why? It removes the ignorance about the self and the reality. It creates a foundation for transformation. It builds your correct understanding. How? How you'd have to do it? I have to do it every day. I have to do it every day. Even for 15 minutes it will work. Maintain a regular listening time. Don't study mechanically. If you are studying mechanically, I'm feeling sleepy, I'm lazy. I don't understand why people get so lazy in the practice of meditation. Second is implementing what you have learned into an action. It means I have to perform duty. I told you that my master is appearing in names in the forms of all of you. So when I have that level of affection, how can I miss the session? So it clears my mind. It leads my mind into the state of the calmness. This work is very easy. This work gives me only $5 and this work gives me $500. So I'll go for that. I am disturbing myself. I have already created a reaction within me. Are you understanding that? Because that understanding becomes your experience of performing duties. Duty, I told you, identify and fulfilling your responsibilities. My duty, acting without personal preference. Duty, I have to do it. If I say that if you go to this restroom, I'll pay you $5. If you go to that restroom, I'll pay you $500. Are you really crazy? I have to simply go to the restroom. Let all the activities be my duty. And if that happens, your mind gets rid of the attachment. Second, I'm reminding you again, if you don't do it, it will not happen. Act, think, speak, and act with the sense of duty. So when you act with a sense of duty, you excel in your activities. You accept the results. I have done the best. Whatever the result. Where is the result? Maybe that, I did my best, but one of you or couple of you are sleeping in the session. I'm happy. It doesn't make any difference to me. I'm not reacting. Why should I react? Dedicating the third one. Now you have to get rid of slowly. That is the point of transformation. So what happens? Gradually you will recognize the I-ness is not there. There is some presence. That presence is the light that performs all the action of the body, mind, breath, intellect together. That is the third step. What happens? You get a sense of humility, you get a sense of openness, and the mind does not remain fully busy. It recognizes there is nothing to be busy. And then we tackle in the fourth step desire prompted actions. We have to check desire prompted action or duty prompted action. Pay attention. Desire prompted act. Oh, let me get ready, open it. Oh, everyone is there. Oh, a couple of people joined the late. I'm ready to blame and complain. In duty prompted action, you join, thank you very much. My master is appearing in your name in the form. You did not join. My master is not joining. Finished. So that desire prompted action creates a veil. And in that veil, in that curtain, you have an attachment, you have a duality, you have a conflict. Your mind is fully busy. Otherwise, mind is clear. Fourth point. Fifth, uprooting the sin. I discussed about the sin many times. Don't go for any religious definition of the sin. Then you have to go to those preachers and for confession of your sin. Why should you confess the sin to them? Why don't you confess to yourself and change yourself? I'm not against any religion. All religions are good. The Eastern wisdom says the sin simply means because of Raju and the Tamoguna, I create unfavorable condition in my life, in my personal life, in my professional life, in my social life. That is the sin. Nothing is sin. We carry millions of tags with that I am a sinner, I did this thing. Cleansing negative pattern of your mind. Creating favorable conditions. That is the meaning of unfavorable condition I have to get rid of. How? Regular self-examination. That if I think like this, if I speak like this, if I act like this, will it be good in my family, in my professional life, in my social life? Should I hold on this thought of a blame and complaint not to create a unfavorable condition? Life is good. Life is good. It demands a lot of patience and examination. The sixth one is recognizing the defects in the worldly pleasure. I just gave you a brief of it. We will discuss in detail later. Our mind since birth. Our mind means all of us. That includes me also. Our mind since birth has learned what? Joy of a taste of a food, joy of a touch, joy of a sight, joy of possessions, joy of pleasures coming from the external world. And this mind finds it extremely difficult to recognize the pleasure is not outside. Five sense organs, joy from all the five sense organs. Five motor organs, joy from all the five motor organs. But this mind does not. It says, okay, you are philosophical. The master says, sixth step, recognizing the defect of the worldly pleasures. We will talk about it. I gave you that example, He found cute and beautiful girl, one girl. She found second girl. He found third one. I said fourth one, no, not more. So that pleasure is present as a delusion. Once I recognize it, I am not busy at all. Seventh is that I have a desire for self-awakening. And then what happens? Huh? I leave the home of pleasures. I leave the home of blame and complaint. That is the eighth step. How it happens, how and why it happens. Now see that. Suffering has a clear roots. You can discover all that roots of the suffering in these 8 steps. Active self purification is the key. Active self purification is the key. Remember this. That is the karma yoga. If you think that now from today I will not blame and react to anyone, and you enter into your social life, you return with the reaction. Pay attention what I'm saying. What I'm saying that why we say karma yoga leads to the purification. I reacted to you. It is action. So where I created the impurity in the mind, from there itself I have to purify the mind. That is why we have a system. Okay, go back, say sorry. Huh? Say sorry. You see that? We act. So active self-purification is the key. That is why I have been saying apply these principles in your daily life. Don't shy, even if one is a junior, to say sorry, there is no problem. I have a big problem. Why I have a big ego? That is the summary. Duty over desire. Always remember, duty over desire. I am performing action because of my desire fulfillment, or I am performing this action for the sake of the duty. Ego is the barrier. Preparation is very important. So all these 8 steps we learn deeply in the next 3 steps. I'm preparing you for a transformation. So what is the 9th step? You have to learn from the teacher or Eastern wisdom or the text. These principles, that is the 9th step. 10th is cultivate a steady devotion. Devotion means I recognize the light is present in the electricity, it is not present in the lamp. Light is consciousness is behind the body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego. Then what happens the moment I recognize it? 6 treasures becomes a play and a fun in our life. What are those 6 treasures? We already know. Samadama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhanam. Calmness, perfect calmness. Mind is 100% available. Mind is 100% available. Second is joy from the sight, joy from the tongue, joy from the fragrance. Oh, you smell so good. Joy. You smell so good. Since our birth. So, we become aware of it. It means you have left the home of the pleasure, you have left the home of the attachment, you have not done anything outside. It is internal. Mind is clear, 6 treasures. So I said Dhamma. So the joy through sense organs, you still get the joy. You still like a particular fragrance, but you are not attached to it. You recognize the recognition of that fragrance. Who is responsible? Consciousness, not my nose, not the fragrance outside. With that, why we do that? I told you, steady intellect. So if the intellect is steady, it constantly reviews, understand, makes you aware. Don't get carried away by this fragrance. It is the knower is inside. Knower is inside. Now is the time to discuss who will take up the lead and let us discuss. Did you get it? Does today's session make a sense, Brandy?
I think so. So I'm getting some feedback. Okay. So desire prompted action is what we want to happen, right? And
With
when there's
attachment.
an element of our own desire in it, there's ego. But if we do it without attachment, it is duty. It's just getting the job done.
Yes, it's duty.
Shoot, that's hard sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're attached to a particular outcome.
You say to your mom, you think first. You are my mom, you have called me, okay, to be present, yes. So because you are mom, I will do my duty. You first think and then do it. Finished. I have to think. Master is not saying that, no, let me not think, let me perform the duty, and you go to your mom's home and you land up fighting. So that is not your duty. Then you did not perform the duty. We normally do that. Yes, David, you want to say something?
I think that if we are settled or rooted in satsang, in our true nature, that home, opposed to in worldly pleasures and worldly affairs, then that's really the where we need to be. So
yes.
It's
yes, you are right, because I am pushing you because of my attachment. So I'm not performing my duty. And you don't fulfill my desires. So I'm angry. I'm upset. That is what we need to do. So in my thought, in my speech, in my action also, I see that I am performing my duty. My action is not desire prompted. If it is not desire prompted, obviously it has nothing to do with the ego. And then what happens? The mind is calm. It takes time. My master once told me, I was saying that, but I'm not getting there. Are you practicing it? I said, no, I just practice meditation in the morning and that's all. I said, if you are not practicing, how you can change your behavior and attitude? How you can change your behavior and attitude if you are not putting them into action? So we sometimes shy. We will not do. Why we shy? There may be a problem of ego. There may be a problem of attachment. Yes, David, you want to say something?
Yeah, what's fascinating to me is what Eastern wisdom is doing. Is it's like a low tide in the ocean. The water goes down and it exposes, sunken ships or whatever. We see it, we don't see when the high tide is in. And Eastern wisdom really exposes our default settings that we've inherited, created, adopted, and so just the constant practice. And I love the duty versus desire, or duty over desire statement. So thank you.
Beautiful. Mind lives in the default setting. So then what happened? Many a times I said, no, let me act. Pay attention. Let me act like I'm a humble person. And I got more disturbed. It is a hypocrisy. It happened to me. And I told my master, he said, son, bad action is better than non-action. At least you will learn. Another master which appeals to me, I always remember. Another master, not my master, he expresses, go to the world, be hit by the world. Hit by the world? If I go with an attachment, unfavorable condition, so I'll be hit by the world. People will definitely criticize me. Let it be hit by the world, so that you can improve. Did you understand that? You hit by the world means you hit by the honey, you hit by the in your personal life, in your professional life, gradually you evolve and you realize now I am in that state, and the life changes. But if I'm dreaming, daydreaming, I will change myself. I'm doing meditation. Half the time you're sleeping in meditation. How you can change? Dennis, you want to say something?
Yes, few things that stood out for me today is mind needs to be purified where the impurity is created, and therefore we need to analyze our past actions to recognize the mistakes that created the impurities and correct corresponding mistakes. Then the other thing is the counterintuitive nature of pain and pleasure, where mind finds it very difficult to believe that the source of the pain and the pleasure is coming from outside. That it is not the mind itself that interprets the events as painful or pleasant, and that the events themselves are neutral. That is very difficult for the mind to realize, but gradually we convince the mind by applying the logic, the wisdom, the reasoning, and action. Gradually the mind submits to it. Then your reminder about karma yoga, that it is the acting with the attitude of performing a duty, not expecting anything in return, not being attached to the result, and not identifying with the doer.
Yeah.
And that six treasures reveal themselves when the intellect is steady, and the intellect is steady when it is not scattered in millions of thoughts outside. And usually with a default mind, this is what you always refer to as blames, complaints, busyness, and these things probably count for 90% of the thoughts that are scattered outside.
Beautiful. So, beautiful narration. You just summarized everything in few minutes. You see what happens, duty versus desire. I'm looking at you and you smile and said, oh, are you making fun of me? Oh, no, thank you. You're smiling, it means you agree with me. Now the smile, my mind gave two interpretations. It comes because of the attachment. Attachment, behind there is the ego. That is why Master says, leave the desire prompted actions. Barbara, do you want to say something?
I recognize that my mind needs a lot of purification, because I don't react to things with my speech and actions. That it's very easy for me to step back and not react, but I still react internally.
Yes, that's a big point. All have done this in our life. No one is an exception, including me. No one in exception. So that very recognition is a great thing. So how to get rid of that recognition? By just start thinking, in what way I should think, speak, and act in this situation. Okay, this situation has gone, so next time I will think, speak, and act like this. You rehearse in your mind, you think in this mind, you reflect. That becomes a reflection, and that is going to purify the mind. The way you all discussed, it throws some light. We will continue our discussion after the practice. Close your eyes, then we will pick up some Sameer first. Eyes are closed. Find out Should I say something practically with a higher, so-called the higher meditation? Place, position, and posture. Does your mind react to the place, position, and posture, or simply moves there? Depends on you. Duty versus desire. You can pick up in any moment in your life. Being comfortable, moving the mind from the top of the head to the toes. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. We used to spend almost 5 minutes in explaining how to be comfortable for the beginners, but for a higher seeker, I just say you are comfortable. So the steps may be the same. You have to see the degree, the quality. That quality makes you a great meditator. I can give you 50 steps in a meditation. You will say, oh, what a great teacher is. No, then I'm a crazy teacher. Being carefree. I pointed out light in the lamp you see indirectly, and in being carefree, knower in the known. Instantly. How can you do it? Why you can do it instantly? You have a steady intellect. What the steady intellect does? The steady intellect does not allow the default setting of the mind. I believe you got it. Being carefree. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam. May there be happiness for all. You pick a point. Oh, happiness everywhere. It's like a water present in all the waves, including me. Same thing with the peace. Same thing with the sense of completeness. Same thing with auspiciousness. That grace and the blessing are always there with us. Do you hear me? Yes, you heard it. It means the grace and the blessing are always there. It is blocked by what we discussed: attachment, desire prompted actions, reactions, I-ness, ego-ness, and not able to recognize what the Barbara was saying. I don't recognize, so I start burning myself within, and it blocks. Now is the time to look at inside the forehead in the space. Understand that also. It is a pointer to the steady intellect. Oh, you did not tell us before. Yes, I was waiting for the time to come. So you look anywhere inside the forehead in the space. You pick up a point in the space. Why? So that the mind does not create any sense of attachment while breathing. So continue looking there and start breathing into the rib cage, long, deep in the hissing breath, into the entire rib cage. Your entire ribs expands and contracts. Can we continue, look at it, continue with a long, deep, and a hissing sound. Why hissing sound? So the mind remains engaged with a pointed awareness inside the forehead, and you are not changing the rate in the rhythm of the breath. The default setting of the mind is going to change the rate in the rhythm of the breath. Why? It says no, it will not bring anything. Nothing has happened. No. If you don't agree to that default setting of the mind will say, no, I'm exhausted. Not today, I don't feel good, so I will not do it. But if you react, then what happens? It starts moving the body. And I notice. Oh. Or sometime what happens, you fall asleep and you don't practice. I notice. You should also notice. So continue breathing long, deep in the hissing breath. First point of awareness, sensation, comfort and steadiness. Second point of awareness, total expansion of the rib cage from the last rib above the belly and collarbone. If that region expands and contracts, it is rhythmic. You feel a total expansion of the ribs and a total contraction of the ribs. What is it going to do? It is temporarily purifies the mind so we can step deeper and get absorbed into higher meditation. That is the tool. But the real purification will come by the karma yoga. You're still breathing. Do not stop. Long, deep in the hissing breath. High into the entire rib cage. Focused mind remains. Keep looking inside the forehead. You may have a variety of experiences of tingling, numbness, freshness, and you continue. You have to do the entire practice. One day I'll talk less and we will do 40 or 50 minutes of the practice, which will also help us so that will be serving as that you can do that practice with additional understanding. So, continue. Now leave this, pay attention to the flow of the breath. Keep watching the breath, watching, feeling or knowing, experiencing the movement of the breath. All are same thing. So check the flow of the breath equal or not, doesn't matter. But when you keep watching the flow of the breath, you have a variety of experiences that you can notice, calmness and relaxation. In that state, You can bring that step also here. What is this first neighbor? First neighbor. Remember, keep that awareness. Neighbor is not you. Neighbor of the electricity is lamp. But the lamp is not electricity. Same way, the real self is not the world outside. That is the first neighbor. And there the mind always likes to play the joy through the sense organs, through the motor organs, and if there is any resistance, then what happens? You already know it. Oh my goodness, then attachment and reaction and blame and fighting. Who did it? I. I created the unfavorable situation, so I become a sinner. Oh, second neighbor is the body. Be aware of the entire physical body. That is the second neighbor. Second neighbor is not me. The way consciousness lights these sense organs, electricity lights the fan, the lamp, and the AC and other gases. Third neighbor is the energy and the breath, energy body. We normally say part of the subtle body. We are not at all aware of this energy body in deep sleep, so obviously it has nothing to do with me. Fourth is the mind. Mind plays with us. We have to check mind. Do you want to enjoy a good meal? Yes. But from the taste, the joy of the taste, impression, okay, that is causing the attachment to me. You see that is how the point of reflection is. The food of your choice, you overeat, no. Or you eat consciously. And the fifth one is the intellect. On one side, ego, other side is the steady intellect. You know, everything is messed up. We are just separating. Oh. And the sixth one is the ignorance which causes the suffering. And to remove that ignorance, let us drop Om Shanti on 16 segments of fingers. Now see you are dropping with awareness, with calmness and peace. Why? You have no attachment, you have no reaction, you're not in a hurry. While if the mind is in a hurry, you are dictated by some thoughts of the past, memory. Resistance is there, it is tamoguna. So, quality of meditation is more important than the quantity. We normally do 20-25 minutes of practice, and in 25 minutes your mind follows the instructions and you get deeply absorbed without any resistance. Means you practice meditation for 25 minutes and your mind is struggling a lot in each of the steps. So the meditation time is only 5 minutes out of 25 minutes. That needs to be understood. That needs to be recognized when you practice every day at your home. And now leave this, move the mind inside the heart, visualize the triangle. By repeat practice of this step, will instantly create an impression of the triangle. That is what I want you to experience. And then move the mind on a sides of the triangle, dropping Om Shanti on each side, so that you can have a right sync. And once you have a sync, that is the moment. Pay attention, listening to me. Now, what I'm saying, push the mind deep inside. How? By singing mentally, deep inside the cave of your heart. Cave of the heart means what? Cave represents emptiness. There is no one except the emptiness, and the Om is taking me there. Then what happens when there is no object? The mind seems to stop. Then you say Shanti. Then you do nothing. Do you see the knowledge hidden into it? Meditation, my one master used to define it, is a self-knowledge. Do you practice knowledge? No. Meditation is not a practice. But yes, as long as we are a seeker, we will continue the journey. But the moment we transcend being a seeker, then we are already in meditation. We need not to practice. People think otherwise. Oh, meditation is a non-practice. How it is a non-practice? They start philosophical questions. Come on, first be a seeker. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it in your eyes. And from today, let us share your also experience in one-liner. How many times you were in anxiety reaction last time, since you attended the last session? No, it is hardly 2 or 3 days. Plus today's experiences, plus reflection on today's lesson. Yes, Samir.
Sir, one thing I have been noticing that whenever I do the actions which are player driven, I become the action, and I am surrounded by sorrow, anxiety, failure. All things are in my mind, and I am not more concentrated on the action. I am more concentrated on the result. And whenever I do the duty driven actions, then I am more peaceful, and there is a little difference between me and the action. And maybe sometimes I feel that somebody else is, it's my own feeling from inside. Means and that is more perfect. I enjoy that action, and the results are always better than those which
Better
I
than
perform through.
expected. Rightly said. You touched upon a beautiful point. You see, I am in. What happened to you? I'm upset. This is desire prompted action. I become the action. I am upset. Can I say? I am upset. This is just a thought of upset. I'm not upset. Are you getting it? The moment you say this is just a thought of upset, and I'm not upset, write it down in your mind. And that is what Samir has brought this beautiful point. So when I become the action, I want a result. I want a result. How can you get a result of happiness in getting upset? Very subtle, very interesting. And that leads us to the transformation. Beautifully said. Thank you. How are you? How many times you were anxiety over your honey? I know your honey also. Samir?
Sir, now I have become little bit intelligent after doing so much meditation. Now I know how to. You have taught me so many ways to, without becoming angry, how to deal with the situation.
Yeah. It does not mean that you only attend my session, so I don't love her. I love both of you. Yes, David and Jerry.
Thank you, sir. That was a really deep meditation for me. By the time we finished the heart, I just felt infinite, just unexplainable. So thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. Mine went back to seeing everyone as my master or Ishwar. And once we do that, then we're enlightened and inspired to take right action, right thought, right attitude. So that's where my mind was.
Yes. The moment I talk to you internally, let the mind say, oh, my master appearing in the name and the form of you, asking the question or sharing the experience. The mind leaves that default setting. It may not leave today, but by regular practice, it can happen. Yes, Christina. Christina Rago. Then we will come to you.
Thank you. I think I've been in anxiety and
those moments more than 10 times since our last session. And I noticed today, my mind wants to say, like, I think someone mentioned their mom, and, okay, my mom is my master in name and form. And then my mind goes, yes, but she, on and on. And so just catching how hard it is to
ask your
release.
mind. Don't stop there. What is but? Mind? What is this but? And you will find the world of attachment, reaction, resistance. This but comes from the ego. Jesus, help me, but. Do you ever say it? What is this? Mind is still want to carry forward with the same past impression. You are my teacher, but. It means, but I am crazy. What exactly? It is your mind that is reflecting. The mind does not want to leave that pleasure seeking. That I need to correct. No, I will correct my mom. I will not correct myself. That will not work. Yes, Dennis.
Regarding the anxiety, yes, I remember a couple of times when the moment of the anxiety started in the last couple of days, yes. But it was recognized, analyzed, and it did not develop further. So it's similar to what Barbara was narrating, that there is and there probably will be a moment of internal anxiety. But the question is how fast we can recognize it and act on it.
Yes, Dennis. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say about the anxiety. And regarding the meditation, it was, I would say, joyful one. It was joy from the sensations after the breathing, then joy from looking at the breath itself, and joy from experiencing motionless body, and at the end there was just joy without any cause, resting in the dark.
That joy coming from inside. But what the most subtle point you reflected, how fast we can return from anxiety, duality, reaction. Whose job it is? Write it down. It is the job of steady intellect. The intellect is steady. It reminds you, oh, no, done, finished. And that is where we are heading to. Yes, you pointed. Good thing. How are you, Vaibhav? Let me take it fast, those who have,
Thank you, sir. So mind is calm. And like today's understanding is like desire versus duty. So when it is desire, I'm expecting something from the world.
Yeah.
And expecting something from the world, I have no control that what world going to give to me. So I feel limited. Whereas when I'll do the duty, I'm contributing towards the world, and there I have a control. See what I can contribute. So I feel free in that.
Beautifully said. When I have a desire and attachment, where the Christina has been, when I have another Christina, Raghu is still there. So when I have a desire and attachment to that desire, I develop an ego. That ego says, I deserve. I am not explaining in detail, but go back to the same example of 3 cute and beautiful girls this guy had. So his mind developed an ego. He said, I deserve this treatment. And what you are saying, let me perform my duty. I accept the result. That is going to change. Yes, now another Christina.
Thank you, Girish. That was wonderful to be a part of this journey together. And I've just been contemplating this. Throughout the last couple of days, I've been contemplating questions, but also the checking of myself. This morning, I woke up, was so excited to have this session today. I'm meeting someone new. But then on my walk this morning, all of a sudden, the thought of who is this person who I'm meeting after this session? Who are they really? What is their motives? This and that. And I just paused on my walk and I said, oh, that's wonderful of the mind to think all these crazy thoughts. That's wonderful. And then I just breathed it out and I kept walking and let it go. But usually my old self would have ruminated for hours and days, second guessing everything, but it's all gonna be good.
Question.
And at peace.
Question every thought that passes to your mind, because any thought that passes to the mind is a default setting of the mind. We bring it at the conscious level, we check it, we give the right treatment, and there we can move ahead. So, yes, let us have Brandy, then we'll go to Terry. Yes.
My reflection of the meditation kind of piggybacks what Christina just said, in that I had the thought that the mind's often like a child, a small child who wants something, and you gently have to say, no, not right now.
Yeah.
We're not doing this. And sometimes it throws a fit and sometimes it acquiesces, but there's something within us that is more in charge than the craziness of the mind. And to your point in the lesson, it starts when we're little, getting things we like, not getting things we like or want or don't,
Yes, Christina Rago, did you hear? Treat the mind like a child. The moment the mind says, but come on, mind. Mom is mom. Mom will remain mom. I need not know, with mom I'm into anxiety. Without knowing, I just started the topic. I just gave the label of a mom. How are you, Barbara? We don't hear you.
I felt anxiety a few times last week, and when I think about it, it's just so pointless to be anxious about something because it doesn't solve anything.
Beautiful.
There is nothing positive about it, and it's something you just have to find a way to get rid of.
Yes, the moment you start thinking and just reflecting on why I'm anxiety, it's pointless. There's no reason. This is the right approach. Rather than suppressing, controlling, reacting, blaming, no, that is not the right approach. That is what the Eastern wisdom is saying. Yes, Terry.
I guess in the past week I began to react maybe about 10 times.
Oh, 10 times.
But each time I became aware of it before.
That is beautiful.
Almost not every time. I became aware of it before I acted on it. I think maybe twice I did catch myself.
We are moving to the highest principle. In Eastern wisdom or in yoga, we say self-awareness is the beginning, self-awareness is the end. When I say self-awareness is the beginning, it is the small I. When I say self-awareness is the end, it is the real self. Real self is the end. No more anxiety, but any time, even you try, that is the best thing. You should try. You should bring the mind to the task like a child. And then it changes that nature of the anxiety. Beautiful. How are you, Sangeeta? We have two people left, Sangeeta and Ashok.
सर जो वर्ल्ड है वो चाहता है कि मैं साधक ना रहूं,
वो नहीं चाहता,
मतलब वो इस तरह की
संसार
वो
नहीं
मेरी
चाहता.
साधना में बाधक है.
Huh? Yes, what she is saying is good point, but I will correct. बोलो बोलो और बोलो.
तो मुझे अपना काम 100% करना है, मैं किसी को खुश नहीं कर सकती. और मेरी साधना चलती रहे, मुझे मेरे लिए वो ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है.
Yes, yes.
और जैसे एंजाइटी आई बीच में कुछ कंडीशंस थी, तो मुझे पता है कि सामने वाला मानेगा नहीं, मतलब वो तर्क कुतर्क वाली बात है. तो उस टाइम पे मैं चुप हो जाती हूँ कि अब मुझे कुछ नहीं बोलना.
Beautiful.
तो और उस कंडीशन में अगर कुछ है तो शांतो हम और मैं काफी हद तक शांत हो जाती हूँ.
Yes, yes. Your mind goes into anxiety, you try to reflect on it and it doesn't happen. The best thing is to just drop Om Shanti mentally. To yourself, not to the other. To yourself, Om Shanti. Om Shanti mind. Instead of reacting, Om Shanti. Instead of blaming, Om Shanti. So what happens? The other people will find that you are silent. You're not saying anything. And it will work. That is one approach. Second, what she said, in fact, her mind went to the sixth of the 8-step practice. So we have to recognize the defects in the world. Why it is defect? Because my mind gives the interpretation that I cannot make the entire world happy. That is another argument in thought process. No, I cannot make the entire world happy. Let me make myself happy, Christina. Now, Christina, I go. Let me make myself happy. And that changes the entire perspective. Yes, we are undergoing a transformation. Yes, Ashok, do you want to say something or simply namaste?
Sir, namaste.
Namaste.
Sir, namaste.
Namaste, sir.
Sir, मैंने उच्चारण जो है ना तेज से शुरू कर दिया है. मैंने उच्चारण तेज से शुरू कर दिया है.
अच्छा.
मंगलाचरण.
कब?
मंगलाचरण started loudly in the
कब?
morning. And sir, mind has to be, mind has to be disciplined to perform the duty.
Yes, what he is saying that he has started reciting the Mangala Charan mantra very loudly. Yes, when you are driving your car, you can chant it inside the car. But if you are in a mall and you started chanting, people will say, look at the crazy guy has come.
नहीं, मैं बाहर जाकर के बाहर इन द सेंस कि बाहर जहाँ ड्राइविंग होना है ना वहाँ पे जाकर कर लेता हूँ.
So if you are doing it loudly outside, people will say you are crazy. If you are not doing inside the home, you are submitting the pressure. You submit to the pressure, you already have it, and it will make you fall into sleep. So you have to find a new way. They contemplate and reflect.